on FPV, and I am picking up where we left off yesterday. And I said I was going to come back and do it, but unfortunately, 2 of my 3 boys are sick. Looks like they got a little stomach bug or stomach virus. That means Julio is not going to be here either because I didn't want him getting sick. So I'm picking up right now. I don't know what's going to happen with this build right now because if they need me or they get sick or doctor calls, I'm going to have to book it. But I think I got a little bit of time to do this. So here's what we're going to pick up. I went ahead and printed the 3D mount for the, designed it and printed it for the GPS for this, the Quattro Beast 4-inch here. I also pulled the camera. Hey Angel, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And so I'm going to get that mounted. Also flipped the board upside down right before we left. And I decided to pull this out so that if any of you guys, hey Romeo, guys, I know I've been a little out of it. 2 of my boys are sick. They're home today. Got stomach problems, so it's been kind of a little bit of a circus, but apologize if I haven't gotten back to some of y'all. Hey Sean, what's going on? Billy and Romeo and Finley, good to see you guys as well. And Angel, thanks for being on here. So I decided I'm going to use this because what I've got here, sorry, let me split the screen here. I just realized I hadn't done that. So I'm going to use a manual so some of you guys who are going to use these kind of boards can at least follow along. I did flip it upside down so we get access to pads easier. And so the way this board is going to lay out is going to be exactly like this picture here. So if you guys ever use these boards, if you need any help with them, you can follow along if you'd like. All right, so we are going with an RXSR receiver. And let's see, I did finally get the camera, so we're going to put the camera on there. And then we've got the ESC already hooked up. We're going to go with the new VTX. We're going to hook that up as well. I know, man, family is, you know, I'll tell you what, you know, I've never worked. Thanks, Finley. I've never worked somewhere like where I've worked for someone else, really, right? So after I dropped out of high school, I was doing my own thing, and I tell you what, man, I don't know how it is if you have sick family or family that needs stuff if work is understanding, but I couldn't imagine not being able to help family out. Ooh, that would drive me nuts. So, yeah, I'm kind of one of those guys that's, family got to take care, especially kids. I mean, you brought them in this world, you better take care of their butts, even when they make you mad, right? Even when they make you mad. Thank you again, Finley. Thank you for that compliment on this. This frame is, I mean, it's been fun. It's been awesome. And I'm real excited about it. All right, so I'm going to jump right into this. First thing we're going to do is, and again, I'm going to use the where the heck did I just put? Oh, here. I'm going to use this so you guys can follow along, okay? Shane, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting day. Got kids pooping and throwing up, so it's been fun. So we're going to use this diagram and we're going to try to do it accordingly, so hopefully everybody can follow along. We're going to start with the camera, so I'm going to go ahead and mount the camera in and make sure I get everything set up properly. All right, we're going to raise it just a little bit here. This is the angle we need, perfect, right there. So let me get a couple screws that are going to be the right length, because I don't think the screws that come with this camera are even going to be close. No, they're not. All right, so we're going to try, let's say, a 10 mil, 2 10 mils with some washers. I think I've got some washers laying here, some nylon washers. So let's see how this goes, see if that's going to be too much, because I want to say that that might be too much. Maybe I'll go 8 mil. I'm going to go 8 mil. I'll have to make note of this, by the way, for the 8 mil. Let me see how much is going to be left. Yeah, that should be good. So we're going to use some 8 mils, and I'll put that on the notes as well. All right, so we mount this one here. That looks good, and then we'll take another one. Find another washer real quick. All right. Okay, camera's in. I'll get the wiring in. Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing, my friend? Not much team today. Julio, he's heading out here, and I was like, man, look, I got sick kids, and I really didn't want him to get sick too, so it's too bad, because we had a good time yesterday. It's fun, but we'll catch up again soon. I think tomorrow we're going to a high school to help them with their drone expo or something like that, so it'll be kind of neat. He's going to come out there. All right, so if you look at the diagram, guys, The way this is laid out here is going to match. So what they're recommending here is you've got 5 volt to this pad. You have your ground to the second pad from the right, and you have your camera input to the third pad here. So that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the board up first. All right, so let's go ahead, and I think I already put the flux pen on here, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it again. Make sure the tip of the soldering iron is clean, so you can see it's good and silver right here, so it's ready to go. Grab your solder and just get to it. So we're just going to go ahead and get all the pads. Might as well. All right. And if you do the right flux pen, if you flux the board properly, man, this solder will stick perfectly to your pad and not run off, not bridge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go to this side. Now we may not use all the pads, but I don't want to have to get in here again. If I have a change of mind, or if my customer needs to do something, I don't want to have to go ahead and tin the pad, so I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. Probably could have done this side before I put the camera in, but there's me not thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so as you can see now, the whole board is tinned. Everything here is set. So we're going to take our camera wire, and let's see if I want to put this in properly like this, and make sure I got enough wire length. So let me tilt the camera forward. All right, let's pop this in here. There we go. And I can say that I will only need about this much wire. Good. So we're going to keep this wire kind of short, not have too much excess going around. So let's go ahead and cut it. Save this for another camera. So we'll line that up. All these wires are good to save, including the motor wires that we have a bunch of over here. So now we'll strip this, tin it, and start adding the camera first. And of course, here goes the phones. As always, the phones are going to go crazy. A little bit more on this one here. And remember, guys, when you do strip these wires, find a spot where you can just lay them down. Use the flux pen to cover them first. All right, get some flux on there. The solder just sticks better, sticks faster and cleaner. Then once you do put the flux on there, then twist up the strands by holding the strands in your finger and twisting the wire instead of going like this. It's easier to do this way, and it will grab the wire and spin it tighter. So there we go. I'm gonna do all those. All right, now lean it somewhere outside of the frame area so you don't get any solder on your components. And let's tin this. I'm gonna try to do this without putting the old man goggles on. Screw kits are, yeah. Yep. All right, here we go. There's one. Let's see. Trying to practice not having to run to my Mugu goggles every time I do anything. All right, there we go. And then make sure to take your solder and cut it down. Make sure to take your strands, and cut them down to about 1 mil, maybe 1.5, but not more than 2 for sure, because these small boards, you will end up bumping into something else most likely. Let's twist it up. Okay, there we go. And again, based on the diagram here, so you guys see if you're ever using this board, we're going to go to the back 3 pads over here, and we're going to go red, black, and then yellow. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do red. Get our tweezers, get our soldering iron, and now I will use my goggles, or else I will probably damage this board because I can't see. There we go. All right. That wire's too long, so we're going to cut this one down. It doesn't need to be that long at all. And the yellow wire could probably put down just a little bit, just like that. All right. So go red. There we go. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. So those are in pretty good, pretty solid. Make sure it's clean. All right. So we'll go ahead and just kind of lay those down for now, tuck them up. All right. That's it. I'm telling you, I know people have their way of doing things. Just for me, this has proven to work the best. So I'll stick with it too. All right, let's see what's next on here, because we do have a GPS that we're adding, and we do have our receiver that we're adding, and that's going to go to the front. So we are using our XSR, so we're going to follow the FreeSky we could do one of the two methods here. We're going to be running S-Bus. We could be running F-Port on this as well, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with an old school way of doing this, just because we can. So I'm going to run my S-Bus here up front. 3.3 we won't be using. RSSI we can use, but we can also get RSSI over channel 8. So we're going to do that as well. Again, I probably could have wired this. I'm going to move this wire out of the way. I'm going to open the FreeSky package right here. Take these off. Everything's like super close. Put those on. All right, so let's open the FreeSky package. Okay. There it is. So with the RXSR, there's quite a few options, right? And I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes people make with the RXSR is mistaking the wires because of the color, right? So a lot of people, including myself, initially were mistaking the wires that was the S-Port wire and the S-Bus wire. And it kind of got things screwed up because so we're gonna have to turn that off. Stop ringing. Let me do that. I don't know who that is, but right now I'm going to try to finish this. I think that's a doctor. You know what? Hold on. It might be a doctor. Hold on. Hello? Oh, yes, sir. Hi. I was going to send you, I wanted to check on my son's stuff here, but I don't have it in front of me. Can I just email you with the information for Ashton with some updates? Okay, I've got your email, so I'll just send it to you. Thanks so much for getting back with me. Not a problem. It's busy for everybody. You just have a blessed weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Okay, sorry, guys. School? Okay, so getting back to reality here. I want to open this up and explain to you guys a couple things for anybody that's going to be using an RXSR. And we have another 100 of these coming in, right? So let's do this. No, and this is an F7. So we could do it, right? And we might. I just haven't updated the firmware yet to do that. And I don't know, on the customer side, I'm not sure. He's going to be using a Radio Master, so I have to remember to take that into consideration with some of the options I make. But let's just go over this real quickly. So on the, I want to do it based on the colors here. So on the diagram here, you're going to find that the S-Bus in is white, the S-Bus out is green, and then the S-Port is yellow. And what I notice people doing is they keep using the yellow. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I try to get people to save these as best as they can. And so what we're going to do here is, for the time being, we can just go ahead and, let me see, if I do the firmware update on this, he's got to do the firmware as well. But you can't go to 2.1 because the Radio Master doesn't hold that. So I don't know. I'll have to see here what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with what I know is going to work first, and then I could always go back and fix that, change that later. The cool thing about these is they do come with the firmware update cable, so that's the good part. Using the F-Port firmware, I have to go back and see the release or revision of the firmware anyway. But what I can tell you is we're not going to be using the white cable. So to save yourself some hassle, go ahead and lift the tab up on this one and remove the white cable entirely. All right. So we're just going to lift that up and we're going to pull that one out. All right, and that's gone. Save it though. These are good wires. FreeSky uses pretty high quality wires. As far as everything else goes, you know, I was thinking about where I'm going to put this, and most likely, I really don't know where I want to put this receiver right now, so I'm going to leave some wire, some length here for this, and I can twist it up. I could leave the whole thing actually and just wind it. These wires are pretty easy. So maybe for the time being I'll do that just to make it easier. I don't know. I am going to save his S-Port though. In the event that he wants to use F-Port, maybe I'll leave it up to the customer to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save his yellow wire. We're not going to knock that out, right? But I'm going to twist up these three because they're all going to be soldered together. And I'm going to leave them rather long because in this case, I want him to be able to move it where he wishes if he adds more components, right? So the yellow wire here, though, what I will do is I will just simply, let's see, I'll probably wind it here on the outside. I just didn't want to twist it with the rest. And then I'll wind it back up. And then I'll just cap off just like that, you know, kind of make a little X pattern there and then cap this off right here and turn it in. And what I'll do is I'll just put a heat shrink on that. All right, and then that way, if and when he wants to mess with it, he can just pull the heat shrink off and it'll be set. All right, so I'm going to do that and just heat shrink it down. Perfect. So the wire gets saved. No harm, no foul on that. It's not like he's out. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we'll wire it based on, as you can see the diagram here, and then you can see the wiring here. So if we look at the wiring on the board, we're going to follow this diagram here. And so we're going to go second. Over here will be ground. Next to it will be positive. And then the next to it will be our UART1 RX. So we're going to go, if you start from the left and count, number 1 is going to be skipped. We'll go 2, 3, and 4. All right? So let's put the Magoo glasses back on, and let's get to it. And then it's going to go ground, red, and green. Okay, so let's do that. Ground. So positive. There's our estimates. All wound up. Everything's set on that side. Yep, that's good. All right. So, and like I said, these wires are fairly easy to maneuver, so I'm not too worried about having excess, and this is a very low voltage, so I'm not worried about any kind of resistance buildup, so I wouldn't worry about that. All right, so that's where that's going to go. Now let's look at the rest of this. So the next thing we have on here is we have our VTX, right? So in here they're using the MT VTX. We've actually changed over to the new one here. This is the 800 milliwatt, what is it, the Zeus, I think it's called. Let me make sure I get this right. This is the... Yeah, this is the new Zeus 800 milliwatt VTX. So the way they have this listed, if we look at it in reference to the board, is everything's going to go on this side of the board. So let me bring this wire back over. So we're going to go down this rail right here. And based on how they have it here, they're going to use, if you look here, they're going to use TX3. So UART3 is going to be here for our smart audio. And then they're going to have our VTX right next to it. Second one up, third one up is going to be ground. Fourth one up is going to be our battery. And then fifth one up will be ground again, and then you have a 5 volt to here. So this, we're going to see how that works, okay? Do I need to configure the auxiliary channel to get RSSI? Yeah, so you're going to run the RSSI. If you have to understand that it's a firmware update, though. You have to do the firmware, okay? So make sure you do the firmware on your RXSR. And once you do that, it's going to come over channel, well, you'll do it over channel 12. It's auxiliary... what is that, 8? Because you have 4, so it'll be channel 12. So make sure you set your channels 1 through 16, and then you will go in and you will set your RSSI over channel 12, and that will put it in. If you do it in the receiver tab under Betaflight, it will be 12. If you do it in command, then you have to subtract 4 from it, so it would be like 16, and it'll move it to 12. So just go to your receiver tab, do it to 12. And then make sure you verify in your setup tab that you see the RSSI. I have a video on it on there. If you go look under our just type RXSR, RSSI or something like that on our channel, and you'll find it. But pretty simple, but you have to do that update, okay? All right. Once you have that, you can feed it to the OSD because the flight controller starts seeing it and you're set. Now you definitely want to calibrate it, okay? So make sure that you sit your radio near your, not too close, but within like 6 feet. And then set that as your 100% mark, and then anything off that should be okay. But make sure you don't just set it to what it thinks. You need to do it on your own. Set your range on your own and curve on your own on that one. All right, so and if you need help with that, let me know. I'll make you a new updated video for it in case mine's a little too outdated. All right, so we're going to pull the Zeus VTX now and see the manual on this one. And this way, anybody who's going to use this can check out what we're doing. So the Zeus VTX says, let me see, looks like our input can be 6 to 26 volts. So we're good there. We can go straight off the VBAT on this one. It's got 5 volt output, which could do your camera, and then you've got your smart, well, here's your smart audio, and then you've got your video right here, okay? So we're gonna look at the cable, and we're gonna wire this up real quick. You got it, my friend. Just let me know if you need any help. I'll be more happy to help you. Okay, so let's get our VTX cable, which I have laying right here, okay? Now, it's got a 5 volt coming off of it, but I'm not gonna use the 5 volt. I'm going to probably pull the pin on this one because I just want to use the, I'm not gonna have an output coming from this to the camera. So I'm gonna take, let me see, I've got I've got my RX, I don't need these two right here. So I'm gonna remove these two from the plug, but I'll save them in case the customer wants to add them later on. I'm not sure why it would be added, but just in case. So I'm gonna wind these up real quickly, and then I'm gonna tab these ones up. I'm gonna put my goggles on, put my glasses on to make sure that I don't mess anything up. So let's look at this, and let's lift up here, this one. And let's lift up this one. So we'll take the positive out. There we go, and I'll save that with the wire from the RXSR. And we'll lift this tab one up, and that'll be the ground. And I'll save that with the RXSR. Now push the tabs back down, and we are golden here. Okay, so this would sit in. All right, twisted it up, and we'll follow the diagram. Man, I wish HGLRC would give us pre-terminate, like just tinned wires. I don't know why people don't do that. Some companies are really good about it. It's funny with TBS, I love their setup, except that with their nanos, they give you one side terminated, one side just cut like this. I don't know why nobody will just do both sides, but maybe they expect you to cut the wire anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and just terminate these, or tin them up, I mean. So we're just gonna strip these down. And when you do strip a wire down, like I've said before, go about 4 mil or 5 mil, whatever you feel comfortable with, so you can get a good grip when you when you tighten the strands, but then cut it down to 1.5 mil, let's say. All right, and we'll do our ground here. Okay, so we're good. Okay, let's clean that up. All right, get our flux pen. And again, if you need any of this stuff, guys, everything you see me using is on our website. We have a lot of tools, a lot of soldering equipment, things like that, and it's very fair priced. It's either the same or better than Amazon pricing because we order in pretty good bulk. And so anytime you need something, let me know. All right, so again, we're going to hold the strands and just twist the wire. It comes out pretty tight there. We're going to do the same thing on all the remaining 3, just like that. Okay, all good. Now you can grab a helping hand if you want. I have one here. I don't usually use these, but I keep remembering that I need to show the students who are doing our curriculum that this is the proper way to do it. So I'm trying to lead by example. Very difficult to do sometimes, especially if it's not your habit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and twist these up at least to the base here. Okay, just like that. I'll leave this part hanging off, and we'll spread these apart enough to where I can do all of them without having to move the clamp. Just like that, okay? Now get your solder. Here we go. Save that, move that. Now we're going to cut these down. Again, if you can see the length here, so let me get a ruler just for anybody who wants to check this out. So I said to strip it to about 4 to 5 millimeters, and this is right at 4, and then cut it to a safe length, which is going to be right here. So if we want to say this is going to be, I said between 1 mil to 1.5 mil, that's actually about 2 mil, a little under 2 mil. So the recommendation I gave was not longer than 2 mil, and I still stay with that. So just try to keep it 1.5 mil, no more than 2 mil, and then you'll know when you put it down there. If you feel like you got to back the wire off so it doesn't touch a component in front of it or a pad, then it's too long, because you want to get that solder as close to the shielding, the silicone shielding as possible. All right, so that you have no exposed wire. So there we go. These look good. They're pretty good length. Hey, Romeo, make sure to send me a picture on that, brother. Okay, so going back to our diagram now of our flight controller. We're coming down this edge here, so we know we can do the VBAT here. So we're going to go red, black, based on these colors, and then we're going to go red, black, yellow, white. Okay, and that's what it's going to do here. So let's just get started. We'll start with red, and the way I solder, I have to hold this like this. Actually, I'm going to bring it from the inside, so I'll keep it this way. Come from the inside, keep our wires clean. So let's start with red. Make sure there's nothing in the way when I do this. Soldering iron is clean, tip is good in silver, so we know it's going to solder pretty quickly. So we're going to go red, black, yellow, and white. Is that right? That's correct. So red will go here. Should be about 1 second to solder. There's one. Red, and then we'll go black. Here. Okay. Again, about once I get it in this tweezers properly, about 1 second. Really, it's less than a second. There. Yellow, we'll go here. Okay, and then we'll do our white right here. Okay, there we go. All of those are in. Came out clean. We're going to go ahead and twist these up now. Okay, so everything there looks good. There's no wiring exposed. Nothing that I'm going to worry about here. These look good, so I'm going to tuck this down in there now, and then these are ready to go as well. So I'm not going to plug this in because it's going to kick our signal off most likely if it's on the channel A or B frequency there. All right, so the last thing left is going to be our GPS. Now let's look at what they've got here. So what they're saying is we need to use the second rail, the inside rail here, and we've got our TX, everything here as normal, right? So let's go ahead and grab our GPS. All right, this is the little holder that we made for it. And then where is my, let me grab this real quickly. I put my GPS stuff down somewhere, and I need to find it. It's got my wire and everything in it, so give me a second. Take these goofy things off. Find out where I put the GPS stuff. See where that's all at. Where is my GPS package? Well, hell. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it under here? Nope. Guess I'll put, hey, what's up, Mr. Hardy? How you doing, big bro? Ooh, I'm trying to find my GPS package, and I can't, so I think I'll have to go grab another one until I figure out what the heck I did with this one. I know it's around here, but given all that's been going on, the chance of finding it now could be slim to none until I clean up a little bit. So let me go ahead and go grab another one real quick. Story of my life here. Can't find anything when I need it. All right, I'll be right back. I got another one over here. I had another one over here. No, I can't find anything. Where is my stuff? This is what happens when my wife puts stuff away properly, messes up all my stuff. One more second. Here it is. All right, well, I'm going to just ask my wife here because I can't find a darn thing. So let me ask her. Oh, wait, here it is. I don't know why it's in this bag. Sorry, guys. I'm just putting a bag with an antenna for some reason. Got it. Hey, Mama, where's all the other GPS? We're live right now. I'm trying to find the rest of the GPS. Do we have any more like the, I know the 180s. Do we have the other ones? Only the larger ones? Yeah. Yikes. Why are you killing me like that? All right, got it.
We have them on order.
Hey, Ronald. Yeah, Ronald, we got yours set, man. We just,
I'm packing it right now, actually.
yep, it's going out today. Thanks, Ronald, for your patience. All right, so while this is going on, let me check something out here real quick, guys. Just because I want to make sure the wires I pulled are the right ones. So bear with me a second. What's that?
You got their purple TP parts.
Yeah, but I have to clean them up. I mean, if they need to be cleaned up first, I think. All right, let me just make sure I got the right wiring harness for this. And it looks like I do. Okay, so I will take what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this harness here because it's already cut. And the wiring on this is going to go pretty much this way. So we've got, it's going to pop in like this. That would be the right way. Yep, there we go. Just like that. All right. So we've got our ground, okay? And then we've got our white wire here, which is going to go to the RX, or the flight controller. So we're going to use, I think they're using in this manual, they are using, let me see, that's going to be UART4, okay? So for our GPS, we're going to use UART4, and we will show the manual so you guys can follow along if you're working on this board as well. All right, so let's just get to it. So the GPS, the stand I made is going to go, it can go like this or like this on the top. I just want to make sure I got enough wire. So if we do it like this, we'll leave about, it's going to be a little more than I need for wiring, but I'm just going to do it just so that we don't run out. We'll go ahead and just cut this here real quick. There we go. Put these aside. Now we can tin this up. And if you look at the diagram here, so we've got our wire next to the ground, which is going to be our white wire. That's going to actually go to the RX. Okay, so that's going to go to UART4, the RX of UART4. And so if you look here, you're going to see the RX is going to be the second pad. The TX will be the first. So we're going to go green, white, black, and red. So that'll be the pattern that we go, and we'll go over that again in a little bit. So green, white, black, and red. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that on here because if anybody, I don't know what they used as their diagram, but the 180 series, where's my pen? Here it is. So we're going to go, it's going to be, to the TX will be green, and it's going to be white, and it's going to be black, and it's going to be red, and this is for the BN-180 GPS unit. Okay, so let's do that. Let's tin these wires up real quickly, and we should be good to go. There we go. We're going to do the same method again. Get your flux pen. How are the boys doing, babe?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Okay, we're going to twist this up.
Still cold with
Hey, they ate yesterday fine, huh? And today fine?
me. Yes.
Good. Telling you, I think it's going to come down to diet, huh? You gotta stop eating that. Everything those delivery people can bring. Not good. Alright. No Trump? Alright. Let's go ahead and spread these out as well. Tin it up, some our old wire. Everything okay?
Yeah, it's pest control.
Are they coming inside?
No, I told him not to come inside.
Alright. Okay, that. Oh, a bunch of dog barking. Gonna have to.
Come on.
Alright, let's twist this up real
Go
quick.
to your room. Go to your room.
7 dogs. Six dogs now. 6 dogs. Our pit bull, one of our pit bulls passed away. So, 6 dogs. Alright, here we go. So we've got this ready, and again, we're going to trim these down to be no more than 2 mil, but try to be between 1.5 or about 1.5 mil, I guess. There's one. And this wire, I don't like it at all because the shielding cannot, I mean, all it's going to do is melt back. I hate when it does that. This is kind of like a cheap wiring that's included with this, which really sucks. And this is an HDLRC product. This is actually just, I guess you pronounce the company Bishin, or yes, but their wiring is terrible. So this wiring, if you get it hot for just a second, then all of a sudden it just starts going back and exposing more wires, so be very careful with that. Okay, so again, looking at our diagram here, on this particular GPS for the BN180, you've got your power, you've got your RX, it's going to your TX here, you've got your TX, it's going to your RX on the flight controller, and then you've got your ground. So based on this category, we're going to go to our T over here. So let's do that. We'll start with the green. We'll go from the top down. Just like this. Let's grab our tweezers. Just like this here. Okay. One. And then we're going to go. It should be green, white, yeah, black and black. Okay. White. Black. And then perfect. Good. So everything's set there. Those wires are soldered in properly. Everything looks good on this end. All right, we can twist these up. And I'm going to see if there's anything else left that we're adding on this, because if not, I'm going to layer it all with hot glue, make sure all those wires are protected. So let me check the rest of what I got. No, that's done, that's done, that's done. So we have our receiver, we have our camera. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and just going to take, let me get a hot glue stick. I'm almost out here, so let me find one more. All right, here we go.
Sorry.
Killing me, woman. Let's see, we don't have any LEDs. Our buzzers aren't here yet. I don't know if we're going to be adding any actually, but I'm not going to do, I'm only going to go over the second layer here, and that's it. Just going to let that get in there and kind of melt and hold. Do the same thing back here. Do the same thing right here. And then the same thing on the front of the cameras. Actually, this is the camera, sorry. Really, we'll see what I believe it is. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking that inside.
What is that? Oh, you're on hold?
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. I don't think Google's gonna, or YouTube's gonna slam me for copyright on that junk. Okay, so as far as this goes, the build in this, at this moment, is done as far as the wiring goes, okay? So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna start powering it up. We're gonna do a test, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna mount the rest of the stuff. So here's our top plate, right? We still have to put our back 20 mil standoffs on, so I'm gonna do that real quick as well, and we're gonna use 12 mil M3s, or M2s I mean. We're gonna do that. Just pop this in here. Okay, just like this. So we get an idea of how much room we're working with. Actually, we didn't have to use 12, but I think we'll just do it to keep it consistent. It may be too long. Look, 12 may be too much. Let me see. No, that's good. 12's good. We'll do one. We'll do this one here. And I had the other standoff. Here it is. Okay, there we go. Now, let's put this plate. Okay, so we've got our standoffs ready. Now the one area of concern that I have is going to be to make sure that the capacitor stays pretty safe, right? I want the capacitor to be safe and not hit anything. And I also wanted to just, I like to secure the caps, and I'm hoping, I don't know what color, no, that's not going to fit. So let's go with I think the black one fits. So let me find, see if I can find this. So much stuff in here. Black, or is it? What color is it? It's probably the black or the blue one. Oh, you know what? It might be the blue one. So let me just see. Sorry, guys. I'm going to see if I can find a color. Okay, I guess I may have to go with the blue. I don't know if the black's going to fit, but we're going to try it. So let's just see. If the black doesn't fit, then we're going to the blue. Oh, black does fit. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to wrap this capacitor. I'm going to put the heat shrink around it, but I want to feed this a little bit more so it can go under and kind of be under the pads, right? So I want this to go about that far actually. I'm going to try to put this under there as far as I can to about right here. So to make that work, I'm going to cut back about this much of the heat shrink, okay? And I'm just going for right now, I'm not going to cut it off necessarily. I just want it to be able to, I want the bottom part to be able to slide in there a little bit farther. I may have to cut more of this back. Let me just see what I can do here. Fit this around, and then lift this up. Let's see how far I can tuck this underneath. Perhaps if it can go at all. Just to get a little bit more protection. There we go. Okay, so we've got it under there pretty good actually. It's under the, it's completely under the solder pads on the bottom. So there really is no need. I don't like leaving capacitors exposed. And I'm not really sure why companies do it. Maybe it doesn't matter to them, but I think this is the better option. So now when I heat it, it should look like an exhaust pipe when it's done, which will be kind of neat, I guess. So let's go ahead and heat that up. I'm going to hold these so that they don't retract any. Let's just see if we can make it look like a little exhaust pipe, right? Just like that. Like a little muffler. And at the same time, protect every component. Look at that. So that, I think, will be a pretty cool little look, right? It's kind of like a little exhaust pipe, you see? A little muffler. But the cool thing is that the heat shrink goes underneath and covers the positive and ground pads on the bottom. So just kind of a little more added protection there. So that's done. As far as the XT30 goes, it fits perfectly right through here. So this can sit up like this. And now the question will be, how does everything else fit? Right? Oh, that's not a, okay, this is a problem. This is A25 and not A20. So let me please, got scared for a moment there. It's sitting properly. Okay, remove this. Let's see where I put the 20. And this should have not been a textured anyway. These should have been just flat, but not. I may have to go back and change those out actually. So let me see. Because they're all, yeah. I should have one textured 20 left, and I don't know where the heck it is. It's not there, so I'll have to go get another one. Give me 1 second. I don't know where it went. Let me go grab one real quick. Ah, never where it needs to be. Alright, I think I got it here. This will be the last spacer we use. That should do it. There we go. Alright, now looking at how this is going to fit, I'm going to go ahead and put these one screw down at least to hold it in place so I can, and these aren't the right size screws, I'm just going to put them in place for right now so I can see how I want to do the okay, so now if I was going to put the GPS, I could do it one of two ways, right? I can go this way, or I can go this way. Let's just see how it looks either way. GPS is going to pop in here. It's going to sit almost, I think I prefer it like this. Gives me the whole area here. Or I can go like this. I think I'm going to go this way for now. Alright, so GPS will go here. So I think this is pretty much set. So right now what I'm going to do is start getting the wiring set up and start getting the layout done. And we should be ready to close this up here in just a minute. Fire it up at least and see where we're at. So we know this is our GPS wire, so that'll come all the way to the back. I'll bring it actually between XT30. This is going to be our finish the recording and then post it anyway. So let me just check and see if I can verify this thing's even on. Let me just check here real quick because that's kind of disturbing. Oh, we got one. So it looks like we might be back. I don't know. We might lose this again because of the internet. So we'll have to see if that's happening. I have no idea. But we definitely have an internet issue happening right now, which just kind of sucks. Okay, anyways, so let's get back to where we were. I did stop. All right, I did stop so that I didn't jump. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I think we had an internet, so I tried to stop where I was. All right, so we're gonna get back. If we do get cut out again, we're having an internet. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I think it's internet related to us here locally. We have a storm. It looks like we got some bad weather coming in, so I don't know if that's got to do with it. But I'll keep an eye on it, guys. I apologize. If not, I'll just finish the build and then just post the video back up if it continues. All right, so where I was at, I think I'm going to put the GPS like this. As far as the receiver goes, we're going to, let's see, I may just put it behind here on the back. I don't know yet. I'll figure that out in just a little bit. Okay, so let's see now where we are at. The first thing we need to do is test our connection and make sure that everything is, there's no pass a continuity test. Let's go ahead and try that real quick. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know. This internet's kind of baffling sometimes. I think it's two kids that are home are killing each other on Rainbow on Xbox, so there's a good chance that might be it even. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. All right, there's no continuity issue here, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a 5-volt issue. So let's find a 5-volt pad. Let's say like the, what is 5-volt here? That's going to be right here. Nope, so that's good. All right, looks like we're good. Hey, Getty. All right, so let's see what we got. We got our smoke stopper, I think, hooked up. So we'll power this up real quick, take a sip of coffee, and see how we look at it. Just to make sure we can get, like I said, the VTX is not going to power up. It's not plugged in. And the GPS unit I will plug in. So let me get that, just to make sure we've got power going on there. There we go. Should sit nicely like this one is done, just like that. Perfect. All right. Yeah, it's gonna fit good. All right, so let's power these things up and see what we got. Let's get also the garbage out of the way. I will move my face away from the, make sure my voltage is right. Alright, so that's good. Away from the capacitor in case there is a problem. Do not feel like any of that crap shot at me, so here we go. It's a regular USB, alright. And that's fine. Let's go ahead now and plug this into Betaflight and see what we got. And I will share the computer screen here with you guys. So let me put that on real quick. Well, that's not good. Hold on a second. Oh, baby. 1 second. Nope, that's not good. So we have a 5-volt that's not coming out, so let's find out what we got here. Let's look at our wiring and make sure our 5-volt is functioning. There we go. Let's try it again. Perfect. All right, so there's an issue with the GPS. Let's find out what's going on with the GPS real quick. Maybe I hooked it up. Oh, let's see. Oh my God, it's too hard to look at these wires when they're like that bright. Okay, so let me check this GPS out. See what I may have done. Let's see. Wrong side. Killed that off. Should be looking at this side anyway. And so what we have is 5 volt. Oh man, would you look at that? How is that going to happen? See? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to change this real quickly. Hey Mama, what you doing?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Oh, you know what I did? Hold on a second. I looked at this wiring and not this one here for this part. That's my fault. That was my mistake. Alright, so that's what happened here. So this will be a quick fix. The other two are fine, but this one needed a quick fix. There we go. Oh, no, it's good.
Okay.
You're fine. Thanks, babe. Way to pay attention, Joe.
Well,
Thanks for seeing that I screwed up. I got you. All right, so it looks like we got it now. Let's see. Let's do another one and let's plug the GPS in this time. Golly, I love those. I love those little mistakes I make. All right, so let's go ahead and power it up again. And there we go. And give it a few seconds. You'll see the beeping. There we go. Now, excellent. All right, so we are good to go on that. So now we're going to go ahead and turn it around. Let me unplug it one more time. Turn it around for beta flight. Get everything ready to go to adjust. And let's see what we got. Okay, so we're going to lay this out like this. Nothing can short. Everything looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and share the computer screen. Let me add it. There we go. Yeah, no, it's working, babe. It's your husband that made the mistake.
Okay.
Huh?
Good. I'm
Oh, good. I made the mistake. Thanks, babe. We vote of confidence. All right, let me get all this crap out of the way. Paperwork out of the way. Okay. Hey, Jeremiah. What's up, brother? Nice to have you, sir. Thanks for joining me during my video of errors. Okay, so we've got our GPS functioning right here, right? Everything's functioning there. We've got our receiver functioning. So what we want to do is now we're going to go into beta flight. And when I do this, I will not be able to see any comments. So please understand that I won't be able to see what you're typing because I'm reading your comments on the same computer. So let's go ahead and open up the computer screen and put this here. Go across that way. What is this thing asking me for? Yes, okay, it's fine. I don't know why it's asking me. Let's do it anyway. Okay, we'll close that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump on in here. I will leave the power on for right now. Okay. And let's go ahead. So guys, if you are going to be setting up this board, I'll try to switch between comments. Not having a TBS if I want to do I'm trying to find out how to install 2.4 gig. Let me see what you're saying. TX are gamble for daughter take photo. Okay, I'll come back to that in just a minute and I'll help you out with that. Won't be a problem. Let me just check this out real quick. Let's go to connect here and let's go through our steps that we're going to do so that people who are doing this can kind of see what I'm going to do, how I do my steps here. Although I wish I had hand. Everything okay in there?
Uh-huh.
Dogs going crazy?
Yeah, they were just...
All right, so looking at the manual that HCLRC has given, yeah, which really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go and the first thing we're going to do is we will go. Hey, did you see my pen? Did you take my pen, babe?
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
How do you do that? You just came out for 5 seconds.
Because I was going to write with the blue pen, but then I remembered you said you can't read the writing.
Well,
with
because
the
that's not
pen.
blue. That's like a goofy color. All right, so first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go to our CLI. Right, so we're going to go CLI, and we're going to type version. Because we want to make sure that we see, I do see this a lot more now where people are sending in their stuff for repair, and literally they put it in the wrong firmware. And they're like, hey, only 2 motors work. Well, that's because the firmware is the wrong firmware. All right, so let's type version. Hit enter. And what's wrong? I am. You want to come out here? Who's that? What's up, Ashton?
What's up, man?
Did you finish your schoolwork?
I had it finished.
Hey, I'm just saying.
No, since 12 I had it
Oh,
finished.
I'm sorry, Mike Lowry. I didn't know. God darn. All right, so we're going to take down the HGLRC F722. So let's go ahead and put that down. HGLRC F722. And it came with version 4.1.5. We were going to go to the newest one, 4.2. Whatever. And so what I'd like to do here is I'm just going to type dump and enter. Okay. Highlight all of it just because. And right click, copy, right click here, run, put notepad, and hit paste. And this just becomes habit because of the, when I work on customer stuff, I need to back up their things too. So let's go to software, and then we're going to go to HGRC, or no, Beta Flight. Beta Flight. In-flight, Beta Flight, there we go. And then find, I'll make a new folder here. Folder HGRC. What do we call this? F72 dash 20 by 20 dash dump file dash 4.1.5. Enter. Okay, now that that's done, that's great. We're gonna go ahead and update our firmware. I am going to power off the code at this point because sometimes I get this board will hang up if I do that. So the 4.2.6, let's go ahead and load it, flash it. Are you still on the home warranty, people?
My call dropped whenever the internet went out, so
So the internet did drop.
yeah.
My boy's playing that Xbox. Alright. I'm gonna be able to read y'all if anybody's asking questions, and I'm gonna be able to read it in a second. I don't think I have a way. Oh, you know what? I do.
I'm gonna go take Austin and get a haircut.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Sorry, back. Alright, let's go ahead and click connect. Apply our defaults if it asks us to. Oh man, this is where I hate this. Come on, connect. Alright, fine. Let's just unplug the USB, plug it back in. Now connect. Now apply custom defaults. Now it should start back up. Hopefully. Let's go. There we go. Connect. Let's see, accelerometer is enabled, not calibrated, that's fine. So let's go ahead and reset our Z-axis, go ahead and calibrate our accelerometer. Let's look at our ports. So our ports, we have UART1, that is correct. UART, what do? We had our VTX Smart Audio on UART3. So we're gonna go to UART3 and select Smart Audio. And then we have our GPS on 4. So we're gonna go ahead and select GPS. And I don't remember, what is it? I think this is going to be 57.6 for the BN18, for the BN, yeah, that's right. And then the ESC will be here, and that is how it should look. So let's go ahead and click save. Now, something that we need to do, if any of you guys have gone through this before, is we have our VTX, right? But we need our VTX table. I don't know who's calling me, but I can't answer. Can I answer? I have to answer it. Okay, so here's our table, and I think what we're going to do here is, I don't even think they have it posted yet. They might. Let me see. Do they have it posted? I don't know. So if you don't have it, and I have a saved file, but I'm going to show you guys what to do if you don't have the saved file, because I don't think HGRC has it yet, but I'm not sure. So as a matter of fact, let's just check out HGRC's website real quick, because maybe they did post it. Let's go here. Let's go to HGRC. And let's look up this VTX and see if they gave us the file. So we go to products, and where am I at? FPV, video transmitters. Let's see if they did, right here. Let's see if they've added this file yet. I asked them to do this before. God, the website still takes up the whole damn screen. Let me see. Then I got this goofy crap. Like, I really don't care who bought anything. I just want to see the file. VTX table, good. So they did do it. So let's click that. Let's see. So we are going to go. I don't need this. I need this one. So I think what we're going to do is, I think you have to right click on it and save link as. And then we will go to our, make a file wherever you want to put it. I think
He was kidding, they're booked.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right as he was cooking the 2:30 appointment, someone took it, and then the next thing he had was 6. So.
Well, that sucks. So we're going to go to HCLRC. I mean, I've posted mine here, so let me just go ahead and I'm going to save this as a zoom. There we go. So we're going to save that. Let's go back to beta flight now. Whoops, which is down here. And when we connect, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our video transmitter, and let's go ahead and load from the file and find that file that we just did. So I put mine here. You guys can put yours wherever you want. Mine is right here, and then right here, and then right here, and then Zeus and right there. Open, and it will now populate everything. Now, for the sake of making this not interrupt my video, I think I can go to, let's see, try E5 maybe. I hope that's right. And we'll do a 25. Click save, and it took. So this will be cool, right? So we're going to see now if this does freeze the video. I apologize. I'll have to immediately disconnect it. But let's just see. This way we can just test it. I'm gonna plug this in. If I can see past this. Here's my VTX wire. Let me just plug this in real quick. And at the very least, we can make sure that it's working. And I do thank HCLRC for putting that file up there finally. Oops, let's go like this. Here, all right, now, they do supply me with an antenna, so I will put that on for right now, just so that we don't have anybody yelling at me for not doing that. There we go. All right, here goes. Let's see if we have video, right? I'll take this little screen right here. And if it, like I said, if it cuts out the camera, then we'll deal with it. So I'm going to be putting my hand underneath this camera to see if it freezes. Okay, so let's see, are we freezing yet? Not yet. Still have good video? No, we just froze. Okay, so that just froze, so let me just take that off. It did freeze, so I've got to find a better frequency here, so give me a second. Let's try race band, and let's try, let me see, where am I at here? Let's go, well, not race band, let me see. I need, that would be good. Let's try that. Alright, we'll try this again. No, that interrupted it too. Alright, so that's out. So I tell you what, I'm not going to be able to do this with this VTX in, but I know it's working because it keeps blocking me. So that's, I guess, my testing right now. Screw it. We'll deal with it later. I'll make sure it's working, but at least you guys got to see how that works. So now let's go back and go through our configuration here. So a couple of you guys are asking me how to do the motors, so I'm going to show you what I do here. I always go to one shot no matter what. We could leave the barometer on, that's fine actually. You'll not be able to stay at 8 and 8 here when you do one shot. We are going to go to serial base. I'm going to go to S bus for now. And then let me see, I will do, we need telemetry because this receiver will support it. We'll do OSD. We'll not do old time air mode. We'll leave the rest of it like it is for now, so we'll save and restart. Okay. And then let's go back. Forgot to do something here. I need to go to GPS on this side. I'm going to go ahead and enable GPS. U blocks. We can use auto config, and we can use, let's see, ground assistance will be North American for right now. And I do not want to use autobot, so let's click save. Okay, connect again. Now we're going to check the motors out. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and, actually before I go here, I'm going to go ahead and open BL Heli. And I'm going to power up my quad. And we are going to make sure we're in the right port. For those of you who don't know which one you're going to pick, if you're running BL Heli, the 16-bit, you're going to make sure no matter what you do, make sure you select Beta Flight Clean Flight. Somebody was asking about that earlier today, so let's go ahead and read setup. Okay, there we go, and it already has the new firmware, but I'm going to go ahead and flash it anyway so we can go through it. So let's go to ESC Flash, select all of these, and put flashing. I like this option here. There we go. All right, so while that's flashing, I'm going to switch gears here and see what is on the chat side. Okay, Keith, how you doing? Angel, if you haven't had my study, you put GPS in there, please. You got it. Stack on a 3-inch bang got a 3mm, most of the 20mm. I have a lot of slack in the mouth. Sorry, driving. Oh, no problem. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to this one real quickly. It was Sorry, I'm reading the post here real quick while this is updating. I guess I could put that on the screen, so let me just do it like that. All right. So let's look at this. I can get this out of the way. I use 900 megahertz TBS. Wait, I thought you were in the UK. Or I thought you were out of the US. I'm sorry, drone pilot. I thought you were somewhere else. I didn't know you could use. You don't use EU out there, huh? 850, whatever it is. You use 915. So fine. Anyways, I use off this thing. Can't win with this BL Heli. 5.8 gigahertz DJI video, trying to find out if I install a 2.4 gigahertz VTX and 2.4 gigahertz TX RX to control gimbal to take photos. Would it interfere with the set? Would it interfere? I would have no doubt that you're going to get interference. And the reason I say that is obviously one of the things that I found out kind of early on in doing this was I was one time trying to use a Fat Shark 1 point some odd gigahertz and the GPS, and they were interfering. I think you couldn't run one if you had the other. So I would say no matter what, if you're going to do, I think you'd get your interference there for sure. But that's not testing it. I just have to say that my gut says yes. You could probably try to find a frequency off a little bit, but like we know with doing anything else, you may be off, but you're probably going to get some interference along the way no matter what. I don't think you're going to get two clean channels that close to each other anyway. So I would probably, I wouldn't suggest doing it at all. But the rest of it I didn't understand. So the 900 megahertz TBS part doesn't matter. The 5.8 part doesn't matter. Trying to find out if I install 2.4 VTX and 2.4 gigahertz TX control to control the gimbal for the daughter. So I'd like to know more about your build actually, because what I don't understand is, could you not control your gimbal from your flight controller by setting it to another channel? So, like, I mean, gimbal control is a servo control, right? So I guess, and without knowing your build, I would have to ask why you wouldn't just use the flight controller to do it. So I guess send me an email, because I'd like to go over your build and look at it, okay? And we can test frequencies out here to see how much interference we get on 2.4s. We're more than happy to help you. Now, moving on, get a chance to, okay. Stack holes on a 3-inch Vanguard are 3mm. Most of the stacks are 2mm. I have a lot of slack in the mounts, more than I like. Stack holes. Okay. Sorry, I was just wanting to read some of these before I finish to this build. The stack holes on the Vanguard are 3mm. Okay, so the mounting holes are 3mm, and most of the 2020 stacks are 2mm, right? Except for the new ones, right? I have a lot of slack in the mounts. When you say slack, are you talking about movement, like in the hole itself, like within the hole itself? I'm just trying to figure out if this is, you're using a 2mm screw inside a 3mm cut hole. The only thing I can tell you is that HLRC started including these little pieces, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So hold on, let me do this. Right, so they started including these things right here. Right, I'll try to make it to where you can see it. So this is a little piece that is a M3 to M2 converter. It's a little metal piece, right? I don't like them that much, but it seems like it would work for you. Is that this would fit inside? I grab an M3 piece. I know I'm supposed to be doing this build, but I want to stop this so I can find me an M3 So let's just say, for example, this Genesis arm is an M3, right, hole? So I could put this in here, right, and it should fill up the gap, and then I can use, I can step down to an M2. I don't really like doing it. They came with this setup too, and I didn't use them because I don't like it. So I ended up using, oh God, what was it? These little things here. These pieces right here. Where the hell did they go? Hold on. Right here. Alright, so I ended up using something like this. Right, and I know this is not on my build. This is not in part of the build, but you could probably squeeze something like that in the hole depending on how it is. Outside of that, I'd use a step down. You know, it kind of sucks that you're having to deal with that, but this is where things kind of went a little haywire. Shoot me an email or send me a contact, not through the video, but like go to our website, use the support contact link, and let me know, because I'll go over what I've got here with you with a little bit more. And then let me check this last one out. I just got the FreeSky USB XSR dongle from Cyclone. Okay. Wondering if I can update the dongle via USB, or do you use the S port? Okay. So I did a video on this, and I had to use the S port. I don't know about upgrading it USB. I haven't tried it and I haven't read anything about it. I did do a video on updating it using the S port, and it worked perfectly. So that's the best I got for right now. Give that a shot. If it's unsuccessful, let me know. It should be pretty easy to do that. All right, getting back to our build now, guys. Let's go back to our computer. So let me switch back here and go back to BL Heli. There we go. All right. So we have now updated our firmware. All right, now I am going to leave this all checked. I'm going to leave it exactly as is for right now. I'm going to click right setup anyway, and then when we get done, I'm going to click disconnect. Okay, we're going to hear our tones in just a second. Gotta love that one shot where everything's not synced yet. Okay, so now that we're doing, and again, I'm doing one shot here because this is how I test my ESCs, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to power off my quad. I'm going to open my BL Heli. Oh my God. I'm going to open my Betaflight. Make sure my configuration is still right. Now, as you can see, it drops everything down, right? So it's going to take my PID loop to 2 kilohertz right there when I'm on one shot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my motors. Where's my motors? Oh crap, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and arm it, max it, turn it on. Here we go. Awesome. Now I'm going to disarm, disconnect, power off, go back to my BL Heli, power on, read the setup, and I'm going to see what values I get. Okay, so as we look here, this is going to tell me if my ESCs are, all my ESCs are good on this 4-in-1. So ESC1 gives me a 1011 and a 1993, ESC2 1012 1997, ESC3 1014 1999, ESC4. I mean, they're all pretty much in line with each other. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find the highest minimum, so 1014, and then I'm going to find the lowest maximum. So we got 1014 for the high min. Now, the lowest maximum is going to be, looks like 1993. Good. So 1014 and 93. So I'm going to click all these and go to 1014 and 1993, and I'm going to click right setup. Now, what I've done is I just put them all together. This should be perfect as far as how this runs in one shot. Then you can, once you're done, if you want to test it, that's fine. I'm not going to do any more throttle calibration, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this as well. Write the setup again. Now we're going to get out of BL Heli. I'm still going to leave it in one shot for right now, and I'm going to disconnect. I want to hear it restart. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to go to connect here. I'm going to, if I want to, I'm going to go to my motors, and I'm going to test the direction of the spin. So motor 1, hopefully, is in the right order. 1, spins clockwise. 2, counter. 3, counter. 4, clockwise. Perfect. Man, these motors are screaming. All right, so that's good. That's done. Our VTX is done. Our OSD we can configure later. I'll do that with the customer and ask him what he wants. So now let's go back to our motors and let's just arm them and turn it. I'm going to try to lower it, make sure that they all stop around the same value. Excellent. All right, so that's done as well. Now we're going to go to our setup, and I do want to make sure that my orientation on this is right. It should be. Let's go. No, actually, it's. You know what? That's right. God darn it. Okay, well here's a good problem. I forgot that because I flipped the flight controller upside down. Now when I pitch up, it's going down and it's going opposite. Okay, great. So what we've done is we flipped the board, right? So now we have to go to configuration here. And let's look at our orientation. And let's look at our yaw, and let's just, hold on a second. Let me make sure. Yep, okay, so let's do 180. Let's see if this fixes it. Up, left, right, down, there we go. So now we're good. Now I need to go back and test my motors one more time, just to make sure everything's set. Let's go here, and let's go 1. Yep, 2. Yep, 3. Perfect, 4. Perfect. Turn that off. Go back to configuration and make sure, and make sure that when I go up, it's up, right, left, and forward. Perfect. So this quad is pretty much done. Now let's go check out our GPS. We are getting something, now keep in mind we're indoors and we have a pretty poor signal in here, especially with the weather. But we are getting our satellites pulling in. After a little while, this thing should be fine. Outside, it would pick up quickly, but at least we know we're getting something in here right now. I'm going to check the speed again to make sure the rate is right. I'm pretty sure it is though. I don't think if I change this, it's going to get any better. But if I do, I think this is going to mess it up. Let me just see. No, actually, it's going better now, so we're going to get more. So we can leave that up there, I believe, and I'll watch this populate, but that should be fine then. Let's see what else we have. I think that's going to be it, so I'll leave that like it is. That's it. So now that we're done, we can go ahead and go back to our configuration, and now I have no problem dropping this down to D-Shot. We can go to 600 if we want, and we're going to make this a 7.5, and we will use our telemetry. And we will go ahead and drop this out. Let's take the 8 for right now, click save. And now we want to check and make sure that we are going to get our telemetry on here. So let's go to our motors. And there we go. See how we have active telemetry now? So if you do this wrong, then you will have like 100s or whatever, right? So this is functioning, and if I arm this, we will see everything populate. We get all our populating values here, and we get our temperatures here, which is perfect. It's what we want. Okay, so now that's done. We can go to our power. Everything here, voltage-wise, looks spot on. I'm at 12.6 rounded up on my AC to DC converter, and that is matching pretty much with what I'm seeing here. And I guess that's going to be it for right now. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about the meter source at this point. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and close this back up now. So let's get out of the screen. Let's go here. There we go. I'll go back to doing what I do here. There we go. All right. There we go. When you update the Zeus board, do you flash the STM file of HLRC? Oh, I use the HLRC. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Sean. I went to, and it's on here, and I use the HLRC F722. All right. I will be honest with you that HLRC does claim that a lot of the files are the same. No matter which one you're using, it's going to give you the same result on one of them. But I have learned that sometimes that's not necessarily the case. So I go to the HLRC. If the company has one, I go to it. So in this case, that's what I've done on all my F722s. All right. So we know our GPS is working. That was tested out good. Everything else is going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mock this up now, kind of close it up, and see what we've got left. Okay. And see how it's going to look when we're done and how we want to lay it out. So we know GPS is going to be back here. As far as this receiver goes, I am going to plug in the VTX now because I know that's working. Just plug that in. Put these wires down here for the time being. Okay. The receiver. What I'm going to do on the, I think what I'm going to do on these wires, we'll see if I can get them inside. Hey, yo, what's up, Miles? Let's see if I can get these in here somehow. Just kind of keep this stuff a little bit clean and organized. go. Put that one there. What's up, what's up? Just finishing this up, guys. Gonna see what the end result looks like. Make sure everything fits nicely. Gonna try to clean up these wires, make them look good. All right, so we're gonna put these two next to each other. Okay, for the time being, these wires will stay nice and tight inside. As far as the receiver goes, I think I will put it to the frame for now, and then I'll determine what I'm gonna do. So this is gonna fit. That should. You know what? Let me see. Best way to do this. Maybe I'll leave it here then for now. Oh, there's a couple options here I'm going to play with, but if I was to leave this down, let me see how much space I would have. Yeah, that would work too. All I got to do is make sure that my XT30 goes through here. I can make the rest of this fit. I'm not worried about the receiver right now. What I'm worried about is just to make sure that when I put this GPS on, everything fits. So let me go ahead and start mounting my GPS. And I will feed the GPS wire through here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through the XT30. Just like that. Run the XT30 through here. Fits perfect. Run this through here and go ahead and bolt this down just to see how much space we have left. Now I'm not going to use the final screws because I'm not done with this, but I want to see. Oh man, I can't wait to see that, dude. That's going to look sweet. That's going to be sick. Make sure to let me know, Romeo. Let's just put a couple screws in here so I can see how this is going to go. There's one, and that fits perfect. And I think this is going to fit. I don't know if this is going to fit good or not. This one may have to make a different one, but we did make the cover for it. All right, now where is my GPS mount here? So one option I have, if I was to fit it like this, then it would fit fine right here. Nicely. All right, so let's see. With this in, now the antenna would be different, but right now, just for the sake of using the battery to be powered up, I was using that one. Now let me grab like a 650. See how much room we have. So I may have to turn that around, that GPS. I had it aimed the other way when I was first doing it. But I'd like to see how much room I have. So this would fit well unless you want to put like a GoPro. So I guess the option would be then how I initially designed it, which was to take this and turn it around. So let me do that too, just to make sure I've got enough room to fit this if I want to put like a GoPro or somebody wants to put a GoPro or something else on top, right? So this would then Has to be a little change here though. This would have to come out. And this wire would then go through, back through the frame and come out back instead. So let me do that real quickly. I may leave it this way actually, because it does give more room. Let me grab this out. All right. Let's back up a little bit. There we go. All right. So if I did that, just to make sure, I think I can even go this way, I guess. That would be plenty of room. I think that would be more than plenty. Yep, that would be plenty of room. And then, take our lipo. How to put this one? We'll take our lipo. We can easily sit it here and have plenty of room left. So I don't see that being a problem at all. You can bring the XT60 out the back, but this will work just fine. So let me see. See that being a problem there. Still have 4 mounts here. Put it up. That would be okay. I think that would work. I don't see that being a problem. So depending on which plan I'm putting up at the top, I guess I didn't put anything on mine because I'm flying with the DJI on it, so I didn't really feel the need to do it. But if you wanted to, or we could extend this and have it come down out the side more. That wouldn't be a problem either. XT30 could come out this space instead and give you even more room. There's a couple different ways you could do this if you wanted to. But at the end of the day, we will put the antenna mounts up. I'm going to do a little 3D print here for the actual antenna so we can screw it in for the SMA, and then that pretty much is it. So for the sake of just getting a weight on this, just to see how much we're talking about in weight right now, because there's no more components that are going to go on here. Obviously I don't have the props on yet, and there's going to be a couple screws, but just to get an idea for me, this is where I could like to stop and find out a weight. Okay, so let's see. You know what, actually, let me go ahead and put these on. And yeah, let's get a weight with everything, with the props. Find a set of 4-inch props. I'll have you. I'm going to go grab the set. Give me 1 second, we'll grab some props real quick. All right, let's see how these go. What's up, Dustin? All right, let's see what we got here. Get a full weight. I don't have any green props, man. It's kind of weird. So we're gonna have to go with something that totally doesn't match. Good, man. I can't wait to see it. Let's see it. Oh, yeah, thanks, Dustin. I didn't even think that it's Christmas colors. That just makes it even worse for me right now. It's not Christmas time. Great. I better find a better prop. These silvers are all right. One more, if I can find it. There it is. And then we'll see what it weighs. Off my antenna here. Oops. All right, let's go for a weight. Hey Al, how you doing, my friend? Wait for your item. Did it arrive? Have you seen tracking to see if it's here? I didn't see it yet, so I'm waiting, my man. All right, let's get it. We got a 250 gram piece here to make sure that our scale's right. So let's make sure. Oops. All right, let's zero it out. I mean 200, sorry, 200, not 250. All right, 1 gram. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, it did. It came out. It feels really light. I'll tell you that right now. It does feel pretty light. I don't know if it's going to weigh light. It does feel light. I still have to do something with these. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a setup right there for those. But let's just see where we're at. Okay. So we are at, as a 6S quad, this is at 180, I don't know, give or take, between 186 and 188 grams. And that is done. So that is with all the, oh, I'm missing, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I'll throw in 3 screws. 2, 3. Didn't do anything because I got 1, 2, 3 here. Everything else is already done. All the motors have their screws put in now. Everything else is mounted. So we were talking about between 186 to 188. Not bad. It's a 6S setup. Will fly. You know, you run up to a 6S battery if you want to. These motors are pretty awesome though. These are these Brother Hobbies that they made for us, the Chaos. So this is going to be a beast. It's going to be interesting to fly. And like I said, it's pretty light. So outside of a few things that I need to finish, guys, this is the end result. This is the analog version, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, it seems really, really light. And I guess with a, I don't know, let's see, what is this? Oh, you know what? I mean, if I did it the right way, I could make this, I mean, I could probably make it sub 250. I'm not sure what I would change. GPS would come off a little bit. I don't know. It'd be a little interesting, but I'm sure we could get it done. But there you go. All right. So I'm going to stop right there with this one because the rest of it's going to be just some getting some final details done, putting the RX antennas on. But there you go. That's it right there. That's the 4-inch. The motors, these motors are a little heavier. That's true as well, so that could add to it. But we're going to get the RXSR antennas put up. I'm going to turn the GPS around because I do like it the other way. for now, and that's it. We're gonna give it a test flight here. So I'll be back to show you guys a video on the test flight, but that's it. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, this was a live build, so there's, it's kind of weird, but at least people can follow along with it. If you have any questions, always head on over to our Facebook page that you can see right there. And then please, as always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all watching. And if you need anything, let me know. Other than that, God bless, be safe. And as always, make sure to spend as much time with your family as you can. You never know how much time you have left. Until next time, guys. See you later. Bye.